Hey, welcome to the Team Babe podcast. I'm Jason, and I'm Babe.
And I'm Robin, and I'm Babe.
Yeah, man. What's your word for the week, Babe?
My word for the week.
Yeah.
Man.
Do you have a word for the week? I know that you usually post one, like at the start of the week. And this week it just didn't seem to come.
Oh, you mean like the word on the street?
Well, yeah. A word, not a name, as we discussed earlier,
Oh.
but a word.
Okay. Like a funny word?
Any word.
Any word for this week.
Yeah, the word of the week. It's like Sesame Street, I think we're doing here, right?
I'm going to say confounded.
Confounded. Huh.
Yeah.
Cool.
What's your word of the week, man?
That's why I asked you.
Well, then I said the right thing.
You did. I almost confounded you, though.
Pretty quick.
I used the
Pretty
word of the
close.
week, so I get 10 points.
Ding,
10
ding,
points to
ding, ding, ding,
Gryffindor.
ding.
I happen to be in Gryffindor, so boom.
Oh.
Benefits me. My word of the week is, I would have to say, is ragged.
Ragged. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Does that one fit? Confounded and ragged both feel appropriate.
On that note, I'd also like to include shredded.
Shredded. A full-on Cameron.
Yeah. Cameron from Ferris Bueller.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Shredded.
You know, where Ferris calls him and he says, "How are you feeling?" And he says, "Shredded."
I do know that part. Yeah. Yeah. Pretty shredded, man. It's been a heck of a week. I mean, I don't know, like
Yeah. So talk to me about your week. What's going on?
I'll get a little drink here real quick.
Okay, I'll allow it. Ugh, gross.
Excuse me, people. Just had to wet my whistle a
I
little
find
bit.
that ironic that you would do that because you hate that so much when other people do it. So.
I know. Why do you think I do it? I was just watching an episode of True Detective again, and I was listening to what's his name, Woody Harrelson's character, and he's like, I know it's the first episode, and he like his wife hands him a cup of coffee, and he like goes like the biggest like slurp and swallow sounds I've ever heard, and I'm like, is that how you're supposed to drink coffee?
I mean, that's how I drank everything before I met you.
Before I brought the hammer down upon you and imposed the regime.
Yeah. I had no idea that anyone could ever be bothered by drinking and swallowing,
Those noises that you make as a human?
Yeah. And I've tried. I mean, I've really given it the old, college try on reducing the volume of my swallowing and or drinking. And I mean, I just not having any luck with it.
Yeah.
As you know.
No, you're having luck with it. I think you've improved you've improved like a lot. I would say like 75%.
Well, that's pretty good. I mean, I used to chew up your straw and you
take
share your
the
drink.
gum out, with the little sleeve so that it would get all messed up in the packet. All
or
that
just
good stuff.
Take a drink and then be like, ah.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, do you have to make that noise?
But now I do my little bear juice.
Yeah, you sure do.
A little lip smacker.
Speaking of bear juice.
Thing. Yeah. Oh, cheers.
Have some breath there.
This episode sponsored by Yeti.
Mm.
Thanks, Yeti. I mean, when you're going to drink a little spritzer, do it in a Yeti.
Wow. Look at you. And you had to pay for that Yeti. That's crazy.
I know. But think of all the units that they'll sell off of this if the people use the promo code.
Dude, we ain't reading ads on this show. So get back to telling me about your danged week.
Oh yeah, keep the show, on track if you can.
I mean, because otherwise we're gonna forget,
that's what you're doing
and then
right
you're
now.
not going to tell me about your week, and that would be a travesty. So let's talk.
Yeah. Okay. So my week. Let's see. I don't know. It was like it started out not great.
Yeah.
We watched a Lance Armstrong documentary.
Yep.
And I don't think that's necessarily what did it or anything, but it's a new ESPN 30 for 30 2-part thing, and we watched the first part. And I don't know, that whole like situation with that scandal like kind of like fucks me up a little bit. Like, I don't know, it just turns my stomach into knots.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you because I think even though I'm not much of a bicycle like enthusiast or whatever, like I watched enough of Tour de France and all kinds of other things to know lots of stuff about Lance Armstrong.
Yeah.
And when all that stuff went down, and then just watching this documentary, it's just a bummer because it's kind of like, I feel like it's a little bit hard right now. Like America is having a bad time.
We're having a bad
and
year.
Well, more than that. I mean, we're having a bad time from inception probably till now. I mean, but even so, like that. Like, oh, an American won the Tour de France 7 times or whatever. And then, we find out later, like,
to have all that stripped,
it was just, that was just because he cheated.
Yeah. And then just learn that this guy is like the worst, like vindictive asshole who like totally screwed people over. Anyway, I don't know. It's weird, but I don't think that's necessarily what did it. But like, I could not sleep Tuesday night. So I was up all night, literally. Never went to sleep. Just got up and did work on Wednesday the next day. And like work went well at times as like this weird like manic energy where I was like really productive. And then I would just like crash out for like 30 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
And then get back to it and then, repeat the cycle. Anyway, finally got to sleep properly Wednesday evening or whatever. Right. And yeah, man, I've just felt like really, I don't know, kind of like I've been trying to just like recover basically all week or whatever. And finally, like this morning, Saturday morning, I woke up and I actually did not feel like a big steaming pile of garbage. I was not shredded.
That's good.
Except, for my abs.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I can't help it with those.
I know.
Yeah.
You're all about that.
Yeah, they were definitely not shredded.
They
were full of shredded wheat, maybe.
Shredded lettuce. Just kidding.
Oh God, you kill me. Yeah, and then so I don't know. So between that and this has been like the craziest, like shittiest week. Like when I say 2020. This year has been fucked up. It's like, remember when we predicted how great this year was going to be? Do you still hold out any hope? We started 2020 in October. Did we do this?
You and me?
Yeah.
No way.
Did we set things into motion? Was that the butterfly flapping its wings?
Everybody was like, oh, 2020 is going to be great. I mean, there was so much of that. I think there's always a sense of like, oh, it's a new decade.
Did we originate that, you think, though? Did people start saying that like as early as we did in September or October?
Oh, yeah.
No.
Not like.
I don't think so. I didn't hear anybody talking about it.
I'm talking about the marketing people, the forecasters, all that. There's definitely a lot of optimism last year about 2020.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
That early though?
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't aware of that, but I think we might have actually like started. It might be. I think that plays right into the butterfly effect. I think we might be the catalyst for what happened. So sorry, guys. This whole thing has been a real shit show.
I mean, there's other things. I mean, there's all kinds of horrible stuff obviously happening in current events, but there's other weird things that are happening, like it's the year that the cicadas hatch out.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. And
they can like go, oh, 2020 is the year because it's so regular.
Yes, it is a regular occurrence, but they had to live underground for something like 7 years before they come out or something. It's just like something that doesn't happen every year. I can't remember exactly what the number is, but it does not happen all the time. And then there was another thing where scientists were warning that rats in New York were going to start eating each other because there wasn't enough garbage. So watch out for cannibal rats. That was another headline.
But that wouldn't be good.
I think it'd be great because it would eliminate rats. But apparently,
except at the end, you just get one massive rat, right?
But it probably means they're gonna go meat eater in other ways too. Not
Oh,
just
you think they'll be
yeah.
like attacking people's legs and stuff like? Maybe they get mad rat disease.
Well, I'd be attacking people's pets and stuff.
Oh shit!
You know?
Oh man! And then it's just a matter of time before one of those motherfuckers drops a virus.
Right.
Like,
Well, I feel like they
whoops.
just must have millions, you know.
God.
Anyway,
It's a real hopeful scene.
It's It's very strange.
Yeah.
Everything is very strange.
Yeah, there's this crazy. I mean, you guys know we're speaking to you in the future right now, but today, like, it's just been, and this whole week, like, there's the whole George Floyd murder thing in Minnesota. What is it? Where is it? Minneapolis.
Yep.
Which is just awful and totally fucked up, and that just seems like it has. Yeah, it's gotten even worse because there's all this like crazy like looting and rioting and stuff that's going on, protests, and Trump's being like, very like just a great leader, like inciting violence.
I mean,
and like taking us out of the we're defunding the World Health Organization. Like all this shit happened this week. It's just like fucking insane. Like, and then you watch some of these videos and like cops are just like walking up to people and shooting them in the face with like rubber bullets and pepper spray things.
Right.
And like pushing people down on the ground and stuff, like just for being out there, I guess. I mean, who knows? Like, you don't see like this whole
but obviously
video, but it's fucked up.
It's not. It's all. I mean, I feel like the combination of this police brutality and the riots going on is like back to 1990, whatever, 2 or whenever that was,
Yeah.
With the LA riots and all that. And it's just like, I feel like as a kid, during that time, I really thought, I guess I really believed that we were moving on from that. Like something was changing because all of that stuff went down. And there was,
you mean like after it was over and stuff?
Yeah. Like after it was over, I felt like there was hope that there would be less of that happening. I mean, the hope is that it isn't happening at all. Right.
Yeah.
And I think it seemed like, but this is just my own perspective, what do I know? But it seemed like there was some glimmer of hope for a time. And it's hard to be back there in a worse way,
I don't know, man. I don't know about this glimmer of hope really. When I think back to it, I'm like, what was hopeful about that? Didn't all the fucking cops who beat up Rodney King like get off and all this stuff, and like that was there were more riots.
That's not the
OJ.
Yeah, that's not the glimmer of hope I'm talking about. I'm talking about I think for like our generation of kids watching that happen and seeing like injustice happening, I think we felt like maybe we were gonna do something better. Like there was something better that might come. Because of seeing all this stuff go wrong, I guess that's kind of what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But yeah, you only have so much influence on things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so I'm definitely feeling a little fucked up.
Yeah.
I made up a new word that's not really related to me being fucked up, but I made up a word for this week. I guess this maybe should have been my word of the week, but didn't feel right. But cramazing.
Yeah, crazy. But is
crazy
amazing?
And amazing.
Amazing the right word for this week?
No, that's probably why I didn't select it.
Yeah, I mean it's amazing and just like I'm appalled.
So like amazing is usually good, right?
We use
but
it
if it's
that way.
Cramazing.
Like an amazing amount of crazy is happening. Yeah.
And what we really got to be worried about is the butterfly effect of me inventing this word. Like, what is this going to bring for 2021?
Yeah.
People are going to be saying like, yo, it's cramazing, in like raps and shit like that because we're so influential. I mean, this is how legends are made.
Wow. No pressure.
I mean, this is probably going to be easily one of our best episodes, I think. Right?
I don't know, man. Like,
How
I don't know about that. I'm not feeling 100 on that.
You're bringing the fire. You're bringing the.
I even just feel like I got to quote the White Stripes, I got a brain full of pancake batter. Like I got nothing up there. Like I don't know. It's just like a combination of stuff. Well, and you know, sometimes that happens. Like my creative synapses has burnt out and needs, you know, refiring. But it'll come back. It'll come back.
Well, I mean, at least, looking on the bright side, you can make some delicious pancakes.
I'm not supposed to even eat that.
Oh, on the prison regime. Sorry about that. I forgot.
I'm on the no pancake routine.
Charlie's out here eating like a stack of 8 waffles every morning.
Yeah, yes.
I come out and it's like, it's waffle time, man.
Yeah.
We went fucking buck wild.
Well, we bought
that's something that happened this week. We bought him a waffle iron, right?
Yeah, a tiny little waffle iron, and
that makes like little Eggo-sized waffles.
And he loves that thing.
Yeah.
And we'll make like it takes an eternity to make waffles on it though, because I think it's not very hot. Which is perfect.
It's like an easy bake oven.
Yeah, pretty much. So he can't burn the house down.
That's great.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I think like I maybe am thinking about this whole situation has made me think about the past. I guess.
Like your week.
That's what
happens.
You've been thinking about well, that's what happens to me. I think when things don't go very well, I tend to go backwards in time, you know, and
time traveling in reverse.
Yeah. Well, you can time travel in reverse.
I don't think you can.
Yeah, you can go back to the future.
I mean, think about the DeLorean, though. He can't go 88 miles per hour in reverse on that thing. It's a fantastic car. Very high performance.
No. Yeah.
But I don't think it can go 88.8 in reverse.
How did they go to the Old West then?
Well, the car went forward.
But the time went backward?
Yeah.
Wow.
So.
That's a mind melter,
right?
Man.
I mean, he wasn't like, driving 88.8 looking in the rearview mirror. He was pinning it, going for the Pine.
No, you're right.
2 Pines Mall.
You're right. I do find that confusing, though, to go forward and backward at the same time.
Yeah, it's a little contradictory.
I think so.
Yeah.
So anyway, but that's what I do because I think somehow in my little pea brain, I think I'm gonna find some amazing kernel of knowledge from the past that somehow will inform what I should do for the present.
It's gonna solve it, probably, right?
But it doesn't.
It's gonna fix it.
No, it doesn't. I'm not that smart.
Is it gonna fix like hundreds of years of systemic racism and all that shit? And like
no. I mean, I actually was so optimistic, I think, as a kid that I thought that if I had kids that were not racist, that I would be fixing this problem. Which I suppose in some little tiny way might be a start, you know, but they're only 2 people.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's just 2 people. But yeah, so I don't know about you, but like I come from a family of racists. A long history, probably a long, proud history, in their opinion, of racism.
Yeah, it's from the South.
Yeah, both sides of my family are from the South, and they are very much racist, and even the ones who think they aren't are for sure.
Kind of like, you know, just in a generational way, largely. But also, like, in just we're definitely choosing to be, really shitty about this, right?
Right. So, like, when I was a kid, but see, I am like 2 or 3 generations away from my parents because my parents are older. And so, like you mentioned, they're Coke and I'm Pepsi. I'm part of the new generation.
Hell yeah, man.
Of course, now I'm so old, I'm like part of the ancient generation or whatever. But, you know.
What's that Pepsi brand that Jonathan and Seth were talking about? Oh, yeah, dude. Pepsi Jazz from 2006.
I'm definitely not part of that generation.
I'm strawberries and cream Pepsi Jazz, bitch.
That's awful.
You like it?
No. I'm not part of that generation. That's the year that Charlie was born. So he must be Pepsi Jazz.
He's Pepsi Jazz. Yeah.
And that really does sum up that year, I think.
I think so.
Strawberry Pepsi.
Strawberries and cream. Pepsi Jazz.
Yeah, the world's your oyster, right?
What was the other one? Like caramel corn?
I don't know.
Pepsi. Okay, never mind. Fuck it. I took you off on another tangent.
Oh, that's all right.
You were talking about your racist parents.
Well,
Let's get away from the funny and the fun. Get back to that.
Yeah.
That racist stuff.
Well, I mean,
I'm just joking.
It's something that obviously it's on our minds, right? So
how could it not be right now?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I mean, even like I saw like that they're demonstrating. I think it was a U.S. embassy in somewhere in Germany. They're demonstrating against our cops.
Yeah.
Like those guys used to be the Nazis. Remember?
And what? We used to be the good guys?
Used to. Yeah. So, man, I don't know. Where were we?
Oh, I was going to tell some more about my racist family.
Yeah. Did I take over again?
Yeah, man. What's up with that?
Sorry,
You're so
man.
dominating.
I have that. I'm just...
You got that dominant female energy
There's
going
a lot
on?
of toxic masculinity going on in here right now, man. Super toxic. Like the fumes alone. Like this should be properly ventilated. This should be a ventilated area. We need ceiling fans, evacuation fans. We need eye washing stations. We need...
Wow, I didn't know you were so horrible.
Yeah.
I guess I better wake up here and get on like the same page.
Do you need to wake up, grab a brush, and put on a little makeup?
That's what I did to get ready for this show. I had to put my face on.
There's like some girly pop song about that, right? But then there's also System of a Down. That's kind of funny.
That's a System of a Down song?
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
What's that one that's in the Hedwig and the Angry Inch?
Oh, I took the wig down from the shelf.
Yeah, but it's not that. That's almost like that's biting the sound of another song that talks about
put on some makeup.
Yeah.
You're thinking of Dionne Warwick.
Yeah.
I say a little prayer for you.
Right, which is not the song. That is the theme of this episode. By the way, we're getting there, man. Don't rush us. We like to take our time. We like to keep perfectly on track. This thing is on rails and it can't be stopped.
This is like a bowl of overflowing spaghetti so far. I don't know about you, but
like that Duncan Trussell show we've been watching on Netflix,
a little bit,
or that I've watched sometimes, and you have like
I shield my eyes from
closed your eyes
because it makes me very stressed out.
That is so not your vibe, man. Woman.
Yeah, that's right. You can call me man.
Dude,
it's
man.
Fine. I'm a regular old dude, just like you. Yeah. Well, anyway, let's get back on track, shall we? Are you ready?
Roger that. I promise to never go on another tangent again.
Oh, good. Well, if you don't, we won't have any podcasts, though.
Each podcast would be so short.
Yeah. So, like, I, having come from this long line of racists, I'm well aware of, the way that this kind of stuff happens and the way that I see both sides, I guess, is what I'm saying. Because I'm very familiar with racists and their way of thinking and why they think they're so right and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I see the other side of it, too, which is that it's all horribly, evil and, just creates this hatred, which undoes so much good and so much progress over and over and over again.
Wait, what are these sides? Are they opposite sides?
Right. So, in other words, when you grow up in a racist family,
yeah,
you're expected to get in line with the way that your family thinks.
Okay. Right.
There's that expectation there.
Or they just assume that you think the same way, or do they actively go, no, like you can't.
Excuse you.
Like my burps. I sort of stifled it, but I forget sometimes that the good people out there in TV land are always watching. The eye in the sky. Heyo.
Wow, you really are all over the place, man. Wowie zowie. Yeah. So anyway, I guess what I'm saying is like if you've never been around people that are truly racist, you may not really understand how they think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you have firsthand experience with that, then you understand like kind of where it comes from and their attitude and like why it's so difficult to convince them of the fact just that they're in the wrong. And it's just in my experience with my family, it's a losing battle for me to try to change them. Unfortunately, although I tried a lot as a kid to, state my case and, all those things. They weren't having it. And so I think my earliest memory of that kind of stuff was like, I watched Reading Rainbow like everybody else in Gen X, right? It was
Hell yeah, man.
a
LeVar
great show.
Burton.
I love that
You don't
show.
have to take my word for it.
A great show. And
Butterfly in the Sky.
I watched it all the time, every day after school. And one of the episodes was about Run DMC. And they did like a little like kind of kid-friendly rap thing. And, they were wearing their Run DMC stuff, which is like tracksuits and Adidas sneakers and all that. And their cool thing was like they didn't wear laces in their sneakers, right? Which was just like part of like hip-hop culture or whatever. It was like a fashion trend. And I remember saying something like, oh, their shoes are cool. Like, I don't think I'd ever seen like Adidas, like, whatever, track shoes and all that. And anyway, my dad had like a very super negative reaction. Like, if you ever wear your shoes like that, that
I'm going to tan your hide. Like, what the fuck?
Like, you don't want to be like that. That's like, whatever. Some racist comment I'm not going to repeat. And I was just like, what? Like, what are you talking about? I was just like, this is like cool. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, anyway, so I think that I was probably 4, let's say. And that's like my first real recollection of like having this moment where I was like, I'm totally into this.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you be into this? And then, having it pointed out that the reason that you can't be into it is because these people are black and they're from the ghetto and they're, all this stuff. And it was just like a foreign concept to me. So I just was like, this makes no sense. This is not, I didn't want to have anything to do with it. And it just, it was just wrong. It was just hateful. And that's just a small example, but it went on. I mean, there's lots of other things I could say about that. I mean, that wasn't the end of like, my family's, racist banter or propaganda or whatever. But
it continues.
But I definitely, we definitely had a lot of words about it, and I don't know. I just remember thinking like, man, this is a really old fashioned waste of time.
Yeah.
And it just unnecessary and, like it's silly. It's just silly because it's like these same people in my family, if they encounter people of other races, they don't act racist.
Yeah. It's all like this behind the scenes thing.
Yeah.
But then that does affect the way that you make decisions and what you do.
Of course.
It's like you might not say it because that would be mean. That would be uncomfortable, but you like do things differently.
Oh, for sure.
Cross the street, when you see somebody coming or like, you.
I'm not giving them any excuses. I'm just saying that they never, as much as they preach this, stupid racist bullshit, they really never, outwardly expressed it to anyone except their own family. It was just like an echo chamber of like, oh, we're so right and we're so superior, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just wanted nothing to do with that.
Right. Yeah. And like, kids don't know anything. They don't care.
No.
at all. The only thing they care about is sometimes they'll say something like funny or cute about like, like, why is this person different or whatever,
Sure.
like,
Right.
or they'll just be like really fascinated by somebody who's different, and then they get poisoned. And so that makes me think like, Jesus Christ, like how much is that happening? This is just like an average middle class family in like Northern California, the liberal bastion of the world.
You mean my family? Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah. Well, no, I'm just saying like if that happens
Oh, yeah.
in that context, then that's happening like all over the place,
Of course.
and, in an unseen way or whatever.
Yeah.
And then even if it doesn't, there's this unconscious thing that we have too.
Yep.
Or whatever. Yeah, so that's, man, how fucked is that?
Yeah.
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 But you were just like you were never having it.
Nope. I don't know why. I mean, I've like had this conversation with like friends and stuff before.
Yeah.
About why didn't I want to be like the rest of my family, or just, accept what they think is the truth, right? And I don't know what to say. I'm rebellious by nature, I guess. And I'm also, I really do try to be just and ethical, and it just doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
So it was like a right and wrong thing, I guess.
Damn. Well, good thing. Good thing you're disagreeable as
I'm
fuck.
real disagreeable. Extremely. Although I have to say, if my family was not racist, I probably would have disagreed with them about something else.
You would have been
right?
racist. You would have
No.
been like, fuck all these like black
No.
people and stuff,
No,
right?
I would have never done that.
Oh, that's
No.
what I was going to ask you. Did you ever like think or like fantasize about like getting a black boyfriend and bringing him home to like just fuck with your parents or something?
I mean, that was like my dad's worst nightmare.
Right.
Yeah. And he made that very clear.
Yeah.
But no. I mean, first of all, I don't know. It just never happened.
Yeah.
So I would have never done that to someone else for fun,
No.
for kicks. Like, now you pretend to be my boyfriend, then we'll go to my parents. I mean,
I'm not saying that.
that.
I'm just saying like you were genuinely.
Oh,
like,
did I ever think about that?
Into like somebody and then
I had.
ooh, bonus. It's not like you did it for that reason.
No.
But you're like, oh wow, this person's really cool and I want to hang out with him, and this will like really mess with my dad's head.
I think there's just not. I mean, first of all, there was not a lot of great selection of boyfriends in my school, regardless of race. So
Yeah.
it was pretty slim pickings.
I know. I wasn't there, so it was really
I know.
bad.
I was just waiting for you, see,
Yeah.
and you weren't there. So, dang.
Yeah, man. You were waiting for the day when you could love again.
No, I had my revenge in other ways, with mostly with like cruel words, I would say. That was probably my go-to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That revenge is just not very sweet, is it?
No.
Yeah.
No, it made no difference whatsoever.
Yeah. But you know what is sweet?
What's that?
Is our song, the theme of this week's
Yes,
episode.
let's get to it.
So this is episode 54
Right.
of the Team Babe podcast, right? Well, I guess we'll go ahead and announce that now that we're halfway into the show.
Okay.
At least. Over
Okay.
halfway. And this is, so we're doing the COVID-19 mixtape still.
Yep.
This is
Yep.
number what? Number 13 of the COVID-19.
I think so.
Yeah. And yeah, it's just been sort of like a heavy week. And so we wanted to pick one of our favorite, like, kind of heavy, like, bummer songs.
Yeah, we decided that a sad song, at least a sad song to us, would be an appropriate pick, because it just, didn't feel right to pick something that was
fun or upbeat or whatever. Yeah. And it's just a good song too. It's like it's been one of my favorites, I would say, since the record came out. And it is Out of Time by Blur, off of their 2003, I think, album Think Tank, which I don't think got a lot of attention or whatever.
That's a really good album. The whole album's good. Yeah.
I wouldn't say the whole album's good, but like it's pretty good.
I would.
Pretty good, to quote Larry David.
Yeah,
in Curb Your Enthusiasm.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Anyways.
It's pretty good. There's a few stinkers on there. That crazy beat one or whatever. Like, fuck that.
Why?
I don't know. It kind of just drives me nuts.
You know why? Because it's kind of like Song 2.
I love Song 2.
Sure you do.
Can't we cover that on the show?
Oh, yeah, man.
If we want to pay our fucking fees to ASCAP or whatever, or whoever.
Yeah. So, like, Blur
I got
is
an
like...
ASCAP for you.
Blur is like a band that I didn't really get into in the 90s. Like, my friend Sarah loved them, and I remember hearing that, like, girls will be boys and boys will be girls song or whatever, and I was just kind of like, huh, okay, that's kind of clever, but like I didn't get into it. And then it was only after like this album came out that I actually went back and listened to a lot of their stuff.
Yeah.
And it's good. It's very British, and it's very like I don't know, it's kind of removed in a way, I think, a little bit.
Yeah. What do you mean by removed?
Like, it's kind of intellectual. Like, it's kind of like, in other words, it's like music that you've thought a lot about the subject before you made the song. You know, it's not like spontaneous music.
Yeah, he's not just like shitting out like lyrics like this song. I think is really well written. Yeah, Out of Time by Blur. I don't know if you've heard it, but check it out.
There'll be a link in the blog.
We will put a link to the song. Babe had a really good brainstorm on that.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, but it's a sad song. It's a sad song for a sad week. But it kind of like, it's weird. Like, it has this, it kind of starts out seemingly like a little hopeful, and I guess you could still take it this way. But it kind of takes a turn at the end where it's kind of like a little bit hopeless. So if you're really feeling like slitting your wrists or whatever, maybe hold off until, I don't know, after Labor Day or something.
Yeah, that's when things really start to pick up.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where I do feel like it's an appropriate pick because we're out of time in a lot of ways. Like, it's long past time for this kind of racist, like, violence and stuff to be over. Like, it's beyond time. Like, we're well into the 21st century. Like, we just watched the SpaceX thing that happened today where they launched, 2 astronauts from NASA into space to go to the space station.
Yeah.
After, more than 10 years of not doing a launch, that seemed really strange too, in contrast to all this other stuff that's going on. It's like, we're sending people into space? Like, for what?
Yeah. For the first time on U.S. soil.
I
know
they're...
they shut down the, whatever, the shuttle program.
Like, I know that that is important work. It's not like it's a waste or something, but it just seems so strangely almost like inappropriate and bizarre, like from another world or something, in relation to like all the COVID stuff and then all the stuff with the riots and all the problems that we're having with all this terrible racism and our awful president, and just on and on and on and on. And then all of a sudden they're just like, yay, we went to space. And I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
So
it is really weird. Like, it's so bizarre. Like, if it reminds me of why I like totally dipped out of social media.
Yeah.
Because it's like I'm seeing all this stuff and I'm seeing like just crazy shit, like, protesters getting pushed down on their ass, like, while they're just standing there not doing anything threatening or violent. It's like, you could kill somebody doing that. What if they fall back and hit the back of their head on the curb or on the fucking pavement? Dead.
Yeah.
What the fuck, man? But yeah, so I don't know. It's just a total non sequitur. For the space launch thing,
Like, we've come so far with like technology.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're still just killing each other and and fighting about stuff like wearing a face mask or not.
Yeah.
Or like I mean, it's just, or fighting over toilet paper, or, I mean, just like from the most extreme, like killing people, to the most trivial,
Yeah. Like
and
hand sanitizer.
and everything in between. And it's just kind of like, but yet we have all of this like crazy technology. Like we're going to start, the deep fakes are now, the wave of deep fakes are coming. Oh, that's really helpful. Thanks, you guys. I mean, like we didn't have enough problems already. Like, what are we doing?
It's weird because you're a futurist.
I am a futurist.
But you're also like a kind of an anti-technologist.
I am a little bit, because it's like giving a gun to a monkey. Like, unfortunately, that's kind of what happens first. You know what happens when you give a gun to a monkey, don't you?
They shoot you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they don't know what they're
Makes
doing.
sense, but aren't we all monkeys with guns?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, we're a little different, but not much.
Yeah. So I get a little upset. I get upset with the people that create the technology. They don't think about protecting anyone from it.
Yeah.
They're just like, here you go, and here's some more. And as soon as you get used to that, here's some more. And everybody's just like, whoa.
Well, right. And the existence of the space program is like, responsible for the space program and the military for like basically all of our tech that we use every day, So this is going to definitely push it forward. So in that sense, I don't know. It's exciting. And I don't know. I thought it was exciting to watch that launch and like see everything go so smoothly.
Yeah.
And then like it does this crazy thing where the rocket like fucking lands on a drone ship and doesn't just get destroyed.
No,
that makes it way less expensive to send people to space and all this crazy stuff.
The rocket, like going and doing that, isn't negative. It just seems out of place or out of context in regard to these problems and things, that are happening.
It's almost like it's out of time. Yeah. Well, the song goes, watch the world spinning gently out of time. Are we only dreaming, or are we out of time? And then at the end he goes, we're out of time.
Right.
We're out of time. He just like says it over and over and over again. It's like,
So I always find it strange when you get, like when you saw the astronauts' view from the spaceship, looking down on Earth, just like every other picture you've seen, like looking down on Earth, it's completely peaceful. It's this blue, peaceful sphere that's just floating, right, in the middle of nothing.
Yeah.
But, and they had to go, 150 miles above the Earth to see that view. But like when you're on the Earth, it feels like that's all there is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it feels like just right here.
Just right here is that's it. And it's just kind of like, that's why this song felt appropriate, because it's like they're literally, those astronauts are watching the world spinning out of time, but there's nothing to see. You know what I mean? From up there.
Well, and there's also, I feel like there's a kind of strangely, I guess, still hopeful or positive angle on the end of that song. Watch the world. We're out of time. So you could look at it like we're out of time like we have to quit fucking around.
Yeah.
Like it's like we're literally out of this time where we've been like screwing around with all this shit. Like we have to end it.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know. I guess you could look at it in a positive way. The song. You can't look at anything else in a positive way.
I mean, these songs.
Welcome to our comedy podcast, guys.
It wasn't a funny fucking week, man.
It wasn't.
So you know what? Sometimes you just can't be funny. I mean, sometimes I'm just not funny. Have you noticed that? Most of the time.
No, I'm just joking. That's me. No, I'm not funny most of the time. I mean, if somebody was funny all the time, that would be so obnoxious.
Yeah.
It's like if you have a friend who like never says anything serious, like everything they say is a joke or whatever.
That does get really old.
It's like, okay, can we can we talk about something real for a second without it being like some chops busting thing or some joke that you're putting over on me? Like,
right. Yeah.
Is this the real life?
So I want to figure out this is what I want to figure out with and maybe there's some kind of technology that can help, and there probably already is technology that can help, and I'm just don't know about it. But
I think technology is racist though, right?
Oh, everything is, dude.
Like when they let the AIs work on these problems and figure out these decisions, and they come up with like crazy racist stuff to do that like logically
They do.
might make sense, but it's like, yeah.
I don't know about that.
Oh, I think I read or heard about that.
Oh, that's awful.
I'll have to look into that.
And what? We're supposed to let them make all the decisions? The Veronicas?
Well, we can't do that. If that's the case, we can't let Veronica run our lives.
Some people do.
Bitch always listening to us anyway.
Yeah.
Turn off your Veronica.
Yeah, please.
Yes. And your Dave.
No, it's only Veronica. The AI is never a guy.
Yeah.
In my world. It's only Veronica. She's horrible.
Yeah. I think we're going to bring this one on home.
Really?
Do you have anything else to talk about?
Jeez, man, just put me on the spot.
No, I'm just asking. I don't think there's any pressure. I think our massive audience is very forgiving. We hardly ever hear any complaints about either of us.
Well, I guess the only other thing I wanted to say was like I want to figure out how to use what we've got for something good. So I don't know what that is right now, but I'm open to ideas. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I had this idea, and sorry, I guess I do have more to say, but like, I was talking about like social media, and it like looking at it also, not just seeing the negative stuff, but then seeing people post like, like photos of the guy who got killed and like all this crazy shit, and like saying these like whatever like important things like, hey, this is fucked up, my translation, hey, this is fucked up, this guy got killed, it was severely unjust, here's why, we need to fix this, blah blah blah. And then everybody is like reposting that, and then you feel like if you're looking at it, you're like, oh, should I like repost that, or should I try to come up with my own thing or whatever? And it's like, dude, why are we putting I know there's a importance to like raising awareness about this stuff, so that's not like completely valueless,
right?
But if that's all you do and you just leave it at that, and you think you're doing anything, like you're not.
Right.
Right?
It's just kind of like talk. It's like it's if it's just that and there's nothing else to it, then it's just talk and no action.
So I feel like the most important thing is, to actually like if you are like messed up about this, like actually do something, like do some research and figure out ways you can contribute to help tangibly with this problem, instead of just like reposting something on social media.
I think I'm in the same boat. I'm just trying to figure out what that is, and like what is the thing to do, and what is something that I can do that is effective, because it's not obvious, I don't feel like, and I also have a hard time knowing what to say. Yeah. Or, I don't know. So I'm always a little reluctant to, react immediately, because I think that's just part of processing things that happen for me, But
it takes me a long time to process.
It does. Me too.
Way longer than you.
Yeah, that's true. Your articulation speed is extremely slow. Because you don't like to talk. Yeah. Except for on this podcast.
Except for on the mic. I just get on here and I just love it so much. Oh, I was going to say, every time we mention like a question for the fans and stuff out there, like we get tons of responses. So thank you. Thank you all for that. And so by that same token, if you have any good links or ideas to share on that, reach out to us on social media and, let us know what you think.
Yeah.
Call the 1-800 number,
Yeah, would you like to mention our email address on the air?
Go for it.
Oh, no, I meant you. That's hello at Team Babe Pod. Or no, I'm sorry. That's hello at teambabe.life.
You almost fucked it up.
I almost said it wrong.
Hello with big eyes.
Hello.
Eyebrows up at teambabe.life.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Yeah. Hit us up there or on all the social media.
Yeah, we're working on trying to figure out our Zoom game so we can actually talk to people remotely.
Yeah.
As you do these days. We were really getting into that, having people in the same room business.
That was fun.
And now we are like, oh, we can't do that.
Shit.
So now we got to figure out how to have people remotely. So, maybe there'll be in the future, we'll figure that out and talk to some people. And I feel like I need some ideas because, like I said, I just feel a little, zapped in the old brain.
Yeah. What was your word again?
Shredded.
Confused?
Confounded. Yeah.
And mine was?
I don't know.
Slag-a-keg?
No.
No? It wasn't slag-a-keg?
No. That's a nonsense word.
Well, yeah, so listen to this song. Thanks for watching and listening to this. It's been real, y'all. Oh, and so listen to the song, and then if you want some kind of interesting, fun TV, check out Betty on HBO.
That is interesting and fun.
Yeah, we're a few episodes in, and it reminds me a little bit of High Maintenance,
but
in
for
some
Generation
ways,
Z,
but very different. Also, I don't know. So, anyway,
yeah,
yeah, man. Thanks.
All right. Yeah,
keep it real, y'all.
We're gonna work on next week's track.
I think we solved it, and I think I think everything's probably looking up from here.
Wow,
now that we did this,
really?
Yeah.
Oh wow, look at us. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I solved making a drink. That was one thing I solved today. Look, I put Coke and wine in my cup.
And you didn't even drink it all.
And
Look at you.
I solved that problem for myself. And that was the extent of my problem solving for today.
Well, you did it. I think you achieved all your goals, and you made this a wonderful experience for me and the viewers and listeners.
Thanks, babe.
Yeah, and I think we should go have a few more drinks, and I love you, babe.
All right.